Hey guys, it's Scott with Scottie B Cards. In this video, I want to look at the most expensive baseball card sales ever and where those cards are currently valued. Alright, like I said in the introduction, a little bit different video today compared to just like, these are the most expensive baseball card sales. Yes, we're going to do that for modern baseball from the year 2000 to today, but we're also going to be looking at what the current value is if they have sold again and what that value was and how big of a gain or loss that was. Spoiler alert, a lot of losses coming up, but we're also going to make our best educated guess if that card hasn't sold in a while, like superfractors don't sell often, and because of that, we'll just kind of say if the market in general for that player is up. Here are the ground rules just so you understand like where everything came from. These had to be sales on either market movers or card ladder databases. I believe a Shohei Ohtani superfractor sold on Facebook for like $1 million, but I can't confirm that because it wasn't verified by either of those companies. So for this purpose, we're only doing sales verified by these two. Card ladder does verify private sales if it is proven to card ladder it was a private sale. So some of these will be private sales, and I'll disclose that if it is the case. The card has to be produced past the year 2000. Anything prior, like the 90s cards, are crazy valuable, and on top of that, vintage cards are crazy valuable. So we're focusing on 2000 to today. Like I mentioned, public or private sale does not matter as long as it was verified. And the last thing for BGS graded cards, I'm not going to be comping subgrades. If it's the same grade, if it's the same grade, it's the same grade. They're too high end of cards to really make that much of a difference if it's a true gem versus a min gem, all that stuff. So we're not going to worry about that. Without further ado, number 15 is a 2019 Bowman Chrome Julio Rodriguez Bowman Chrome autograph, red refractor, sold for $276,000 in August of 2022. Pretty strong sale. It is a true red. There are red shimmers. I think his red shimmers out of 10 in particular. But either way, 276 grand for a Julio card. Where is that today, you ask? It is not as strong. A BGS 9.5 sold in 2023. So this was even before he had even worse year this year in 2024. He had a decent second half like he always does. Starts out slow, then does better. But a BGS 9.5 sold for $108,000 in March of 2023. Again, this card, that's down 60.87%. Realistically, probably be a little bit lower. For example, a PSA 10 red shimmer. This is, oh, it is out of 5. I lied to you. I thought it was out of 10. Out of 5 red shimmer sold for $14,000 in a PSA 10. Those never go for as much. I'm not comping those and saying they're comparable, but it is out of 5 red. It's just the shimmer variation, and that one did go for 14 grand in the last little bit. So they have fallen a good ways. Number 14 is Juan Soto. This is his 2016 Bowman Chrome autograph orange refractor. This is the jersey number, which is worth calling out. People do pay crazy prices for jersey numbers. So I can't see it. I think it's on the back, but it's 22 out of 25. This sold for $300,000 on February 7th, 2022. Where is this card now? It sold for $26,000 on September 22nd, 2024. That might be the biggest dropper. It's hard to compare jersey number to non-jersey number. They're both oranges. They're both BGS graded with 10 autographs. Either way, sold in September for 26 grand. So that's down probably 90 something percent. Let's say it is the jersey number and that's worth 50% more. 100%, we'll double it. We'll say it's worth 50 grand because of the jersey number. That's still down from $300,000. Who knows if it'd be worth more than that now, but a comparable card, it's the same card, just a different numbering, is worth $26,000 on open auction. Number 13, we have a Shohei Ohtani. This might be one of the few cards in the entire list that went up in value. This is his 2018 Bowman Chrome red refractor autograph. This is the pitching, obviously, he's pitching in the photo, but there's actually a hitting image as well that typically sells for more than the pitching. But this one sold for $312,000 on December 19th, 2021. This card has a very interesting history. The same exact card sold 1 year later, and then the year after again for $276,000, and that is down. So essentially, the key sometimes with sports cards, obviously, is not just buying a cool card and having a cool card, it's holding it for the right opportunity. If this sold in 2024, I would have to imagine it'd be a lot more than the paid price in 2021. So because of that, this did sell for 276 grand. It is down. Crazy, it sold exactly the same price, like basically 8 months apart on auction. But I do think this would be a valuable card, much more valuable than they paid for any 3 of these auctions if they would have sold it today, as an example. At number 12, we have Elly De La Cruz Bowman Chrome Auto Superfractor 1 of 1. This one sold in September 2024. So just barely. In the last few months, went for 360 grand. This card is either going to look like a great buy at the end of this season or a horrible buy at the end of this season. Obviously, you can't write off every player after their age 23 season, I believe, which Elly is going to be this year. But if he has an all-star top 5 MVP voting season again, if he has that, I think he was top 10 this last year in MVP voting, but if he does it again, this card's going to look okay still. If he does not, has injuries, struggles, has not a sophomore slump, but third-year slump, or whatever it is going to be for him, last last year was his rookie year in baseball card terms, but he played in 2023 as well. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a risky card. And I kind of mentioned that there's nothing to compare it to. So hopefully for this buyer, it works out for them. At number 11, we have the Ronald Acuna Jr. Bowman Chrome Autograph Red Refractor BGS 10 for $361,000, sold in March of 2021. It's a big premium for a BGS 10, which we're going to look at in just a moment. And BGS 10s aren't the same as they were in 2021, in my personal opinion. Maybe we need a data dive type video on that, where I look at the data of BGS 10s and see how much they've actually dropped in regards to comparison to PSA 10s and BGS 9.5s. Just because of Beckett's falling out, it's been tough for him. Either way, a BGS 9.5 red sold for $57,000 in a BGS 9.5 True Gem Plus. I said I wasn't going to talk about it too much, but this is a True Gem Plus, so it's close to a BGS 10. Sold for $57,000. If we triple the value for a BGS 10, we're looking at $172,000. So that means if that's the case, it's down 52% from this price. If we triple the red to a BGS 10 grade, you tell me if you think a red already numbered to 5 really needs to have that much of a multiplier for a BGS 10. Maybe it does. But either way, we're looking at a pretty big, steep loss on that particular card. We know why with Acuna. Injuries, unfortunately, are what sidelined him. At number 10, we have Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a tragic story that maybe we could dive into another baseball card video soon. But either way, this is his orange Bowman Chrome Autograph BGS 10, sold for $369,000 in September of 2020. And this card, a BGS 9.5, similar story to the Acuna, on June 8th, 2024, sold for $73,000. If we also triple the value similar to the Acuna, then we're looking at $219,000, which puts this card at least down about 40%, if that's what the multiplier is. If it's higher and lower, then you can do the math yourself. Either way, not great for Mike Trout. At number 9, another Acuna, which is not sad it's an Acuna in this high. I just feel bad for people who have high-end Acuna. Nothing's worse than injuries to someone like him who had a 40-70 season. Either way, this is his Bowman Chrome Superfractor autograph, sold on September 9th, 2023. So basically right after his MVP year, and then right before he was not great and then hurt himself in 2024. Sold for $430,000 in private sale. And where is that now? It's too early to say on this card. I still think this card could be worth more than that potentially in the future. Acuna has to come back. Maybe he doesn't steal as much. Maybe he's just a pure slugger, focus on his hitting primarily. Now he has more power, right? Like that's the hope for Acuna. I think he absolutely have a good long career. I think he's 27 next year, still super young. So $430,000 for this card, and this is the risk you take on, even with what feels like a surefire Hall of Famer. After a 40-70 season, injuries can just derail careers. You've seen that with a lot of players, that it really is unfortunate. And number 8 is Bryce Harper. It sold for $2,000 more, which is still a lot of money, but comparably, $430 versus $432 isn't that big of a difference. This card sold on November 18th, 2022 for $432,000. The interesting thing about this card, though, is this same card sold almost in exactly a year later for $420,000, which is down about 3%. I don't know what the motivation of the buyer was. Maybe he's need to sell it to pay for something, unfortunately for them. If that's the case, you do you. Cards are not the most important things in the world. But either way, you should have held on to it, in my opinion. Harper needs like a championship or another MVP or something big. That's when you'd probably sell this type of card, or wait until he retires in the future, something like that. But either way, this card, you tell me if you think it's down. I bet you it's still worth about this amount. At number 7, this is like the most tragic card on the entire list. And I say tragic, I just mean the most drama. That's probably the most dramatic card, probably the better way to say it. This is the 2001 Bowman Chrome Refractor Autograph Albert Pujols out of 500. This card might look funky to you. That's because that autograph is very different than any other Albert Pujols you will probably ever see for this particular card. It sold for $462,000 in February of 2022. Where is this card now? This same exact card in 2024 April sold for $96,000, which is down 79%. There are concerns around this card being altered. I'm not claiming it is altered. That is just the concerns. The main thing is the autograph was probably wiped and re-signed, because this is typically a later example of the autograph than what Pujols was doing in 2001. Essentially two different styles of autographs on Albert Pujols Bowman Chrome autographs. One is really streaky and sideways, and the other one is more slow and deliberate. And the one that is slow and deliberate has been forged, where the previous autograph was wiped and that was done. But if you actually look, there are some that were pack pulled that way. They're redemptions technically, but they were sent back that way. So the rumor is he started out doing it slow, then he went really streaky and fast just to get it over with. This is the only example of this that looks like this. This card also was a PSA 9. Somehow it got a PSA 10. That can happen with PSA if they review it. But if you want to learn more about this card, there's blowout card forums about this card, maybe Reddit as well if you want to check it out. But this card, I don't even know if it's worth $100,000 right now, if I'm being honest with the baggage that it has. At number 6, this is the most mind-boggling card on the list. I put sold for $474,000. I meant to put the date. Sorry about that. But this card sold. This is the Jason Dominguez, the Martian Superfractor 1/1 autograph from 2020 Bowman Chrome. Right after this card was released, probably between 2020 and 2022. Sorry, the date is wrong here. It sold for almost $500,000. And where is this card now? I can probably tell you it's not worth $500,000 as of right now. That's more than the Acuna sold for last year or 2 years ago at this point. And Jason Dominguez does not have the same allure as he did. I think he's number 28 prospect in baseball right now. Still super young. He could still have an MVP breakout. Who knows? But man, this price could go down as one of like the biggest, craziest pays in all of baseball card history. At number 5, we have a 2009 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor autograph of Mike Trout, numbered to 50, PSA 10, sold for $528,000. That's mind-blowing. $528,000 for a gold refractor. That sold February 20th, 2022. Where is this card, you ask? It is down 83%. The last copy sold in June of 2024, a PSA 1010, which is actually a better version with the new PSA logo, a new PSA flip in the case, and it has the 10 autograph graded, which this might not even be a 10 autograph based off of this photo, but it sold for $89,000, down 83%. Mike Trout is just down. He's just down big time. At number 4, this is a very interesting sale because this one just sold too, but we're not paying for the card here. We're paying for the card and the grade, not just the card. So this is the Ohtani Bowman Chrome Orange Hitting Image Autograph, BGS 10 black label with a 10 autograph. You can tell me it might be a little generous because there might be a streak across the, like, where he actually streaks across on the card. It looks a little bit thin if I'm being fully honest with you. But either way, this card did sell for $533,000. The thought process behind the buyer is this is the very best orange. It is the black label. Only comparable card is the red, if you want to do the red hitting or pitching, and then the Superfractors. This is like the best one you can get. Only black label, I'm assuming, between the hitting and the pitching image. So that's why they paid that much. Where is it now? It's probably worth the same right now. That's a crazy price for a grade, especially a grading company like we've already talked about is softening a little bit. So that would concern me to pay that much for the grade, more so than the card. But you know, modern baseball investing, it's all about condition. So the hard thing is, I just have a hard time paying that much for a black label. Just me personally. Others probably don't feel similarly, and that's totally fine. At number 3, this card's also pretty crazy. This is the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Bowman Chrome Autograph Red Refractor. Sold for $552,000 on April 17th, 2022. It is the BGS 10, which is why it sold for so much. That's a big sale. That's a big sale for a red Vlad. Is it worth that now? Let's take a peek. So there are no recent sales at all. Whoever has these 5 has held them since this day in 2022. Probably because Vlad struggled a little bit in 2022 and 2023. Fantastic year in 2024. I think he's going to be good next year, and then he's probably going to leave Toronto at this point. What it looks like, he definitely could still stay. But if he leaves Toronto, maybe he'll go to New York Mets. And if he goes to the Mets, he has a better park for him. Who knows? Either way, though, is it worth this price? Let's look at some other players. PSA 10 Mookie Red out of 5 sold for $123,000 in September. PSA 9 Bryce Harper out of 5 sold for $184,000 in September of 2024. So I would venture to say it's down at least 50%, at least. But who knows? Can't really say where it is because cards are worth what people are willing to pay for them. But this person was willing to pay a lot more than I think it is worth now. Number 2, we have another Mike Trout. This was $1 million sale for a red Bowman Chrome autograph out of 5 in October of 2022. This card just sold in March of 2024 for $216,000. It's the exact same card. Exact same card. You can tell by the autograph, the cert number from the BGS slab. Same card, sold for 80% less at $216,000. Very brutal drop across all Mike Trout cards, which brings us to the final card in this list, the 2009 Bowman Chrome Autograph Superfractor of Mike Trout that sold for almost $4 million in August of 2020. Where is this card now? This was like the famous Vegas Dave sale where he bought it for $400,000, sold it for $4 million, said the card market was going to be dead by this year. Card market's not dead. Mike Trout's market might be a little dead, but either way, I'd have to venture based off of everything else of Mike Trout being down 80%. This card could be down. The thing is though, this card's still wildly important, so I don't think it's down as much. But again, until someone sells it, who knows? We'll have to see. Let me know on this particular card. Is it worth more or less in 2025? Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.